Hi, I'm Francis Beau, and welcome back to another Robots in Disguise recap. This is recap number 22, and we are at episode 22 with Similarly Different, and let's review it. So, this episode is mainly about Grimlock finding another Dinobot, and his name is Scowl, and it's another Decepticon, and he basically is trying to see if he can show Scowl the ways of an Autobot to see if he can become an Autobot. Basically, in terms, he wants to see if he can become someone different, not someone that he has to fight. So that's mainly the plot of this episode, and it's okay. I mean, it's not the worst. It's not the worst episode that I've seen so far of the series, but it is a little bit boring and a little bit generic because I kind of assumed already that this was going to happen. And honestly enough, the design of Scowl, because if you remember from Comic-Con, they said at the Robots in Disguise panel that they were going to bring out a new Dinobot. This is apparently the new Dinobot, and I don't know why, but his design looks almost identical to Grimlock. Just a few couple parts are added to him, but that is it. His Dino mode is different. It's completely different from Grimlock's, but his robot mode looks the same to me. Just a few couple parts of different color. That's pretty much it. And I don't know why, but when I heard Scowl's voice, I immediately thought of Nolan North, who played the voice of Smokescreen from Transformers Prime. I immediately got that vibe, but it isn't Nolan North. It's someone else. It's Mark D, I believe. I forget what his name is. Mark H or something. I forget who he is, but I know it's Mark. It's a nice voice. I mean, I like the voice, but it just sounded a lot like Smokescreen for a minute, and I honestly thought it was Smokescreen for just a quick second, but it's not. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's a pretty generic episode. There's a couple of cool fight scenes. I like the fight on the train where they have to basically lift the train and rotate it around and turn it the other way. It's pretty cool. There's not a whole lot that they did new. I mean, you pretty much know what's going to happen. I mean, at least with this episode, the first fight, mainly what goes down is that they have at least one huge fight, and then eventually they capture the Decepticon, and that's the episode. This episode goes a little bit bigger, and basically has two action sequences. The first one is by the train, and the other one is basically at a spa or something, and it's not a bad fight, but it's just something so generic that we've seen it before, and I honestly expected a little bit more out of this episode because we are getting a new Dinobot, and I did want to see something better out of that character, and I hope that we get to see more of the character. It's just that, and it didn't really get the character justice. Let's say that. With this episode, I am now starting to understand what people are saying that the Robots in Disguise. I've noticed for a long time that the Robots in Disguise episodes, they're all pretty much the same. I mean, we all know it's the same material. But I'm now starting to understand why people are starting to hate this series, because the series is mainly using a new character, a new Decepticon, and that's it. That's mainly how they're using it. They're using a new Decepticon to make the episode interesting. If they didn't have a Decepticon, then the episode would seem kind of boring. Like the trouble with Fixit, that had a Decepticon, but mainly it was about Fixit, going berserk, and that was okay. What I'm mainly trying to say here, guys, is that I'm starting to understand why people are starting to hate the series. I've understood for a long time why people hate the series, mainly because the episodes are generic, but I'm starting to get a big feel of why it's starting to be such a hated series. So, hopefully next week's episode will be a lot better, because this episode was actually kind of boring and very, very, very generic, and I didn't have that much fun with this episode, and I just want more out of this. So hopefully next week's episode will be a lot better, because this series is starting to go a little bit downhill, and hopefully hopefully they redeem themselves with next week's episode. So that's it for this recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What did you guys think of Similarly Different? Do you think it was a good or bad episode? Do you guys like the new introduction of a new Dinobot? And what do you expect out of next week's episode? So that's it for this recap. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been my RID recap. So that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time. Beau out.